Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week where you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezie. Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rockin' Knicks University main man, Uncle Freezie. I'm joined by the dude that's so smooth he does not require a chaser. Still, the real Anthony D is in the building. New York, stand up. Brooklyn in the building. Queens in the building. The Bronx, I see you. Manhattan, okay. Staten Island, Jersey City, where you at? Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Yonkers,
Absolutely.
out on the island, Brentwood, Islip, everybody, everywhere in the New York tri-state area. What's good, everybody? Salute, salute, salute.
Especially shout out to the Northeast. You know, shout out to, they helped me solve a situation that had been nagging me. you ever have a situation that's it's like something in your shoe?
A rock.
It's like, yo, why is this so difficult when it really shouldn't be? So,
right.
It's the junkyard out there. They helped me solve a situation with my headlight that had been just, But good morning.
Good mornings. Good mornings.
Salute to the chat.
Yeah, man. Salute everybody. Salute everybody watching. Want to let y'all know, man, we appreciate y'all. Man, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Man, we enjoy rocking with and for y'all. King Ribby is in the building. Corey Lee is in the house. Keith Turner, fresh off separating intergalactic civil war, is in the house. That man broke up a civil war while he was smoking a cigarette. You know you cool. You know you cool if you out there breaking up a civil war, an intergalactic civil war, and you got a cigarette in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my man. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Get that energy up. What's good? Knicks Live is in the building. Okay. All right, Donald K. Yo, what's good? Hey, Donald, what's good, bro? What's good with you? Yo, so I got AD here. Y'all know it's old school Knicks. Y'all already know the vibe. Y'all already know what we about to do. We probably about to talk about some controversial topic as usual. Y'all already know the vibe. Y'all already know what it is. So AD, why we here in this next moment or two, I just want to speak to something that's not near and dear to my heart, but it's close. Right?
Speak on it.
I've been asking people around the Knicks universe, which do you prefer? Ismail Rivas, which do you prefer? Do you prefer a squad with junkyard dogs on it where things might get sideways in an instant, but people know not to play you? Or do you prefer choir boys that worry about the process and ignore all the outside noise? Mr. AD, I want to ask you that first. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer a long-term build of Pat Ewing's, Charles Oakley's, Anthony Mason, John Starks? or do you prefer the long-term build of quiet boys like OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson?
I don't understand why you asking me, AD, a question like that.
No,
That's
you're not just AD, bro. You're still the real AD.
this is true.
There are imitators out there, but there's only one.
Yes, this is definitely true. But that's like asking me to betray my family. That's that era of Knicks basketball, will forever live in my heart, and not only my heart, but so many Knicks fans that we know we didn't win it, but that's not what counts. It's the moment, it was the times, it was the team that was embodied. If there's ever a team that was just connected to where they were from where they played, it was those '90s Knicks team.
The gritty committee.
The gritty committee, absolutely. But that being said, that 14-2 in January was something to see.
Nice. Right. It was nice. Yeah.
That 14-2 in January was very nice.
Right.
And I'm just thinking about the way they moved the basketball and the way they defended. You know what I mean? It's like once the trade was made and OG got here, he immediately fit like a glove. Like, all right, I'm gonna defend the 2, 3, sometimes the 4, and I'm gonna be in this corner here, or I'm not, because I can do a little bit of different things, and he even showed a couple of different things before he got hurt.
Right.
And Dante DiVincenzo looked like the Dante DiVincenzo that won Nova, the championship, like every night.
Yeah.
That's how well he was playing every night. Randall was playing extremely well. We know what Brunson was doing, but collectively, that team in January really made people start going, oh, okay, the Knicks, they look like something. Like this may not be a mirage, and I'm here to tell people it's not a mirage. If this team gets reasonably healthy, as I was telling Freezie before we started the show, it's gonna be hot next summer.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be hot next summer.
Oh boy.
Get me on par with everybody else in health, just health wise, and let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I love the gritty committee. They can never lose a place in my heart, even if or when the eventual will happen, which is winning a championship. But I'm never gonna stop thinking about those days, those times. That was it. The Knicks were hot. I, as a young man, was hot. we were hot together. Couldn't tell me nothing.
But I told you that we won't stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But it feels good to have a team that other teams or other people pay attention to a little bit. Not that you're playing for them, but it's like, okay, we've been telling y'all, about Brunson. We've been telling y'all, that they got something here.
Yeah, and no disrespect to the current iteration of the Knicks. We love y'all, man. We, what I'm saying, love Dante DiVincenzo, love OG Anunoby, love Julius Randle, love Jalen Brunson, love Hartenstein, love them guys, man. But the way we lost in the playoffs to Miami last year let us know we was there. It was dogs going up against choir boys last year. And I'm not saying dudes are soft. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we could probably be tougher.
Yeah, and or your awareness, your IQ can be better, and
Sharper.
sometimes that it really goes with experience, and you need a more experienced player going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really just boils down to that. You know what I mean? Like those guys who you they find their way to the basketball. Their back is not turned to the play.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
When you rewatch that game 6 play, against Miami going down the stretch, that last play, look at where RJ is when
Hidden.
Brunson, the number three,
Look at what Grimes was.
the
Hidden.
number 3 pick can't be hidden.
Right.
He can't be, a back screen that leads him to where? To what? To the vendors?
Yeah.
to what? That leads into the side with the vendors.
Right.
He's the number 3 pick. No.
Right.
No. You gotta have, sometimes you need to bring in. Do I think if you have Boyan in that situation, that looks a lot different? Yes.
And Burks. Yeah. I think
Either
we win.
either or, but more so Boyan. Yes, that looks a lot different.
If you take out Boyan and Burks and to put them in for RJ and Grimes, does that situation come out different? Absolutely.
And you can't, and it's no knock on those players, but sometimes you just on a different timeline.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
just on a different, I don't think I've been on since Grimes trade, or maybe I have, but I don't think we've been on necessarily since Grimes got out of here. Yeah, to get him up out of here. But salute to him, because I was a Grimes guy, even though I have called him, whatever.
Hubert Davis.
But yeah, but I was definitely a Grimes dude. But sometimes the timeline just doesn't work out.
Yeah, bro. He was
And
Hubert Davis. He was Hubert Davis
yeah,
for us, bro.
not for. Hey, Hubert Davis once saved Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, but the thought of their both of those guys, the thought of their greatness never measured up to what they contributed on most nights.
Okay, but still, Hubert Davis had a moment.
Yeah, so did Trent Tucker.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you have to be ready, and you can't. As a young player, the worst thing you can do is to sulk.
Yeah.
When things are not going well for you, it's to sulk, because it's easy for the coach to look at the veteran and go, get in there.
Get in there. Right. He ain't ready. Get in
Ain't
there.
ready. In there.
Hey, you know what I noticed though? When we pruned the tree, so to speak, and no disrespect to NBA players, because in order to get to NBA, in order to get to the NBA, bro, you gotta be a top 500 player in the world just to get to the NBA, right?
Yes.
And then most rosters are only going to carry 450. I mean, well, a total of about what 450
450.
500 players in the NBA at one time, whether back and forth or G League up and down, 10-day contract, whatever. It's like what, about 500 people. So to be in the top 500 in the world, bro, it means something, right? But and when we speak, we're only comparing guys to the top 500 in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're talking about dude that's out there, what I'm saying, playing on Fulton Street Park. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't talking we don't talk about them like that. But AD, you know what we didn't notice? That the front office probably knows that those guys weren't ready and traded them to teams that were not ready, right? Like Obi to Indiana, they may be more ready now that they got Siakam, but they were not ready for championship contention, right? RJ Barrett to Toronto, a team that wasn't ready, probably headed back to the lottery. Quentin Grimes and them to Detroit, to a team that's not ready, probably headed back to the lottery where they can go play and get some minutes. And so in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, I think they all knew, even the players knew that they were not gonna make the wave, right? When you bring in Brunson at 26, and he's 27 now, but when you bring in Brunson at 26, Randall was at 28. He's 29 now, I think. OG at 25, 26, whatever. Dante DiVincenzo at 26 or whatever, 27. Josh Hart at 29. Hartenstein at 26. Mitch at 26. It's clear that the organization wanted those young veterans about to enter their prime on long-term deals so that this group can play together for the next 3 or 4 years. And those young kids just wasn't ready.
No, not when you're going, not when you're going for a championship.
Right. Right.
If that's your overall goal.
Right.
At some point in time, you got to have some veterans. Some real veterans in there to help that cause. You're not gonna find in NBA history a team that won the championship without any NBA veterans.
No, you're not going.
It's just not.
You're not gonna. And led by vets too, not led by a young player, led by vets. You're not winning no title if you're not led by vets.
It takes a minute. Remember when Vince Carter was about to take off? There was a moment there where he wasn't handling things right, and I think Charles Oakley was on the team at that time. And Charles was telling him that you're the one that gets all the accolades. So when things are not going right and so forth, you have to be the one that's out here out front.
Right.
It just can't just be one way. But at that time, you remember what it was like for Vince. The NBA was marketing him as the
Vince was a duck. Bro, there is no world where Kobe Bryant should be a better player than Vince Carter. Right?
Yes, of course.
But it's about what's in your chest and not what's on paper.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you look at Vince Carter on paper, you like, this dude is built in a laboratory.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You're 6'6", 6'7", fast, quick, and if you cut off his drive, he was super strong. Like, the dude is so strong, you're like, oh, I didn't know he was this strong.
With long arms.
He would just jump over everybody.
And his guys that when they jump, they can jump, but when the contact comes close, they kind of like level out. Vince would get higher, when the contact, when the shot blocker was coming. No, no way. Oh, stop it.
Yeah. Yo, when they can jump, and then when the contact come, they shrink.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they shrink.
And the contact, that would be Obi.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Shout out to Obi.
Shout out to Obi Toppin somewhere.
Wish you
Obi Toppin, hit the like button.
Yeah. I saw his little brother in the dunk contest last night. What has happened to NBA All-Star Weekend?
I didn't watch any of it, bro. I'm not compelled. I don't have the urge.
I watched it on the highlights, right?
Yeah.
And I think the first thing that annoyed me was they got like this blue court that they had like the dunk contest on.
Right.
Right. And there's guys. I guess they had the defending champion, the guy from the G League from last year. He was there. He eventually won it again. But it was Obi's little brother. What's Obi's brother's name? Okay, little brother. I
Little
can't.
Obi,
Little Obi, right? Little Obi's little Obi's there. They got Jaylen Brown to be in the slam dunk. I'm like, why Jaylen Brown here?
salute. I say salute to Jaylen Brown.
No, salute him because he's an established NBA
right. Back in the day,
player.
old school. Yeah,
that would show up to the
So
the
even
dunk
though he didn't
contest.
win, I'm saying salute even though he didn't win. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but in its format and how its presentation, like your first thing, if you want to get $500,000 for the in-game tournament, right? Why not just give $1 million for the slam dunk contest and just open it up to a field outside of the NBA to come in? Wouldn't that be? Doesn't that sound a lot more appetizing than these gimmicky things with the blue back or the blue court and the
LED court?
I'm like, what has happened to it's like there's a lot of dudes who are not currently in the NBA, like the two-time champion. What his name is? No disrespect to him. I can't think of his name right now. Right? That really get it in. That really hoop. That really still have the springs and the creativity to take it to the next level. It was shameful last night.
AD, I'm not. I'll disagree with you, but if you just listen to my point, you'll understand where I'm coming from, right? My thing with NBA All-Star Weekend is that guys in the NBA should only be the ones in the dunk contest, right? Because if you remember, the dunk contest started out with it's just something to do, right? Since all the stars are there in a certain place. Remember that the dunk contest was an idea from the ABA, and the NBA took like 4 or 5 years to kind of get in the minds, because nobody remembers the early dunk contest winners. We remember it just when Larry Nance and Dominique Wilkins got and started doing the dunk contest. Terrence Sansbury and all them guys.
Mm-hmm.
A All-Star Weekend. Why do you have a G League guy there? 2 G League guys, as a matter of fact. Jacob Toppin and Mac McClung. I don't want to watch that shit. I mean, yo, you think I'm a good bro? No lie.
It has to be Matt McConaughey.
Yeah.
Matt McClung.
Yeah. You think I'm gonna stop watching TV to go watch Mac McClung and Jacob Toppin?
Oh
no, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the 3-point shootout, right? Because there is it's not compelling to me. It's not like something like, you know how you be out, you be like, oh, the dunk contest. Remember, you be like, yo, the dunk contest start in an hour and a half, and then you stop what you're doing, and then you go set it up so you know what I'm saying, you can watch it. I was like, yo, if it's something dynamic, I'll catch the highlight of it. Right? Mm-hmm. Like if somebody just levitate in a spaceship and just hang in the air and dunk, okay, I'll catch it on the highlight. But if LeBron James or not even LeBron, if Anthony Edwards is not in the dunk contest, I'm not watching it.
Okay.
Right? Well, why would I? I'm not compelled. I'm not compelled to watch, because even if they do a fantastic dunk, bro, even if they do a crazy dunk you've never seen before in your life, look who's doing it. I'm not just doing a dude that's all. Why do I want to watch a career dunker in the dunk contest, bro? You'll make more from this dunk contest than you'll make an NBA salary all year. Why do I need to watch that?
Okay, it's true, but then Freezy, then what's your alternative? Scrapping it all together?
Yes.
No, stop it. Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it. You can't
AD,
get you
but
can't
AD, I
scrap
told
the
you about
dunk
this
contest.
idea. I told you about this idea that I had. I think I told you when we first met. Right when we first met, I told you about this idea that I had. Right, and I don't know if you remember the idea, right? But I'm scrapping all that stuff. I don't want to see no skills challenge. I don't want to see no 3-point contest, bro. What I want is and I know we already got one, but listen to what I'm saying. I want a all-star tournament during the all-star break, right? I want the top 8 players in the NBA. Excuse me, the top 8 players in the NBA. I want Giannis, Jalen Brunson, SGA, all these guys to pick from a pool of all stars, right? Right. This is what I want, right? Right. Say it was 8 times 7, what, 56?
Right.
I want to get 56 of the top NBA players and play a tournament from Friday, Saturday, and a championship game on Sunday. And because think about when you watch it, you know the All-Star game is gonna be whack today, right? You know, just off the backboard, dunk to yourself, wide open dunks. Dude's gonna be trying to shoot threes from the low. You already know what it's gonna be, right? But
Mhm.
what I want is a 8-team tournament starting Friday night, 8 teams to 4 teams on Saturday, right? 2 teams on Sunday, right? Playing not for $1 million, right? Right? But for $2 million per player. Winner take all. Winner take all. If you show up and you don't win, thank you for coming, but you ain't getting no money. And you know what that gets you? That gets you Joel Embiid staying healthy during the season. So he can be healthy at the All-Star break. You know what that gets you? That gets you certain teams that in your mind, where you're just like, I wonder what it would be like if Trey Young and Anthony Edwards was on the same team. Surprise, you may get that during this all-star tournament type idea, right? And so, but when you're telling me that I should be watching a skills challenge on Saturday night with one NBA star and a bunch of people that I ain't never heard of, I ain't watching that.
You mean you mean watching Steph up against what was the young lady's name?
I
I
mean,
can't
I don't
remember.
know.
I,
I
I
it don't
can't
even. I don't
remember
know.
her name. And
I don't.
they had a shoot off, and so when they at the end when they were interviewing them and they were talking to the young lady and they were asking, so what what do you believe that this has done for for women and for the da, 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 da.
Oh
And
God.
she goes into, well, it can give you the confidence to carry on and whatever you want to achieve. And but I'm like, I thought the question was about what would it like, to for basketball and for young women who wanted to play, basketball and
There's
be.
other ways to do that than All Star Weekend, bro. And truth be told, a lot of us, AD, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. A lot of us get tired of getting politics shoved down our throat, right? Can we just for what, yo? You only, yo, as men and women or whatever, you only get certain respites. You only get it's an all-star break, right? It's an all-star break. Why are we getting politics shoved down our neck?
You know what? As you say that, I'll give you one better. Right? I'll do you one better. Let's go back to old Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs. Okay? Let's have a game. The guys play the girls. You want real interest in the All Star? You want something for people to really gravitate to and so forth? Have a game. Have a game. You tell the guys, look, don't go out here trying to hurt, the
No,
women.
no, no, no. I'm already off. No, I'm already. I'm already
What?
off. As soon as you say, "Hey guys, dial it back, let it be competitive
You
with the
have to say,
girls,"
hey guys. You have to say, hey guys, down the line.
well, I don't want to see it, bro.
No, you have to say, hey guys,
I
down.
don't. Yeah, I don't want to see it because that destroys the point. How are you going to tell me that the girls are going to be just as competitive as the guys, but the guys are playing at 70%?
Hey, were you not a fan of WWE wrestling growing up? Did you not know that Hulk Hogan was gonna get up and do the
Yeah, I already
as he
know.
as he
It,
rose, and then he would throw his opponent up against the ring. Then he would drop the big leg, and then he would go into the come. I
I,
say that to say, did you not know the ending?
right,
Are you
right.
not a fan of the Harlem Globetrotters? That's another thing I
I
would do.
feel
I
you.
would have the Harlem Globetrotters come to All Star Weekend. Why have
Well,
you never seen the Harlem Globetrotters at All Star?
but in terms of the Hulk Hogan thing, I liked it the first time when Superstar Billy Graham was doing it.
No, he
Right,
just took it. He just took it to a whole nother
a whole
level.
new level. Yep, he
He just
just
took
took
it.
it
No,
to a whole
you're
new
right.
level.
You're right.
Right.
Superstar Billy Graham of that style right there.
Yep.
That come get you. Super flamboyant. With the he used to come out with the feathers.
Yeah, you
With
remember
the
that
with the Billy Graham shades on.
disco
You know.
era? Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, disco era. Yeah,
But Hulk Hogan took it to a whole nother, you know,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
done yeah.
Vince McMahon would take a template and use it over and over and over and over.
Vince
Yeah,
Senior.
yeah,
That was Vince Senior. When Vince Junior came in, it was a whole nother situation.
yeah,
Vince
man. But
Junior came in what's the dude with the circus? P.T.
I don't.
Barnum,
Yeah,
P.T.
yeah.
Barnum
P.T.
Bailey.
Barnum. Yeah,
He brought in a whole nother, out with the Chief J Strong Bowl,
yeah.
you know,
The
to-
magnificent Don Morocco.
the magnificent Don Morocco and
Yeah,
Tony Guerrero,
yeah, yeah.
people like that. They slowly kind of,
Tony Atlas, Rocky
moved them out.
Johnson,
Yeah,
Junkyard Dog. Yeah, yeah,
dude, I remember that Saturday afternoon when they won the WWF Tag Team Championship. You know,
yeah.
I don't know why it felt like something like a Black Achievement, but it felt like we should be singing "We Shall
Oh
Overcome."
God. This is for real. It's not the movies. It's not the movies. This is for real.
I,
No.
I promise you, it felt like Dr. King should be saying something in the background.
Right, right.
Dude,
Felt
it
like
was
Dr.
a
King in the back line.
dude, it was a moment. I can't lie to you. It was a moment. It was for a 13-year-old watching I was a major wrestling fan.
Man,
I
yeah,
think my whole family, like different segments of my family, love wrestling.
yeah,
My older sister was like, forget about it. She's the biggest wrestling fan known to human beings at that time.
yeah, yeah.
So watching them win, my other dude was Jimmy Superfly Snooker.
Oh, him and Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, yeah. Them
When
dudes were wild, bro.
so they you couldn't get better. You couldn't get better drama with him and Rowdy Piper.
Right.
And Roddy took the coconut and he used to call Jimmy Superfly a coconut, which is like some really racial slur shit
Right.
that they'd be able to get away with on TV in prime
In
time.
prime time.
And
Yeah.
this man calling this black man a coconut, right?
Right.
But it was some of the funniest shit, to be honest with you.
Right.
When he took that coconut and he bust Jimmy Superfly Snooker in the head with the coconut on TV.
On
Oh my
Piper's
God.
Pit. Yo,
Oh, Piper's Pit?
yeah.
You thought it was World War III.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
thought it was World War III. He had a way of building on the drama that was going on in the arena.
Yeah.
That for some, and
Tropes and
it would just,
stereotypes and everything.
yes, it would just come out across the TV. It was almost like you were one with the people who were there, because the people who were there, more times than not, they thought it was real.
Yeah.
They thought it was really going down, But shout out to, I know he's had his troubles and so forth over these years. Shout out to Vince McMahon.
That's a wild world that they live in, bro.
Yeah,
That's a wild world
yeah,
that they live in. So
yeah.
when you hear stories come out about what's going on with them, you're like, bro, you see the drama on screen. Do you think they have it all together off the screen?
It's nothing sweet.
No.
It's nothing sweet. Off
Right.
screen. Remember Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. Their story, and when you see their behind the scenes drama, because she eventually dies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
In something with Lex Luger. Remember Lex Luger at one point comes over to the WWE. She at some point in time, they break up. Macho Man, chat, help me out. If you remember that story, that she finds her way to Lex Luger, they're an item, and some kind of drug, something, and yeah,
It was crazy.
She checked out in some mysterious situations, but behind the scenes, them wrestlers, they live a hard life.
They live a hard life, bro.
No, it's no game. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll every night, every town.
Every town, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember this, but WWE was doing a thing in Madison Square Garden, and they had an autograph signing at Hudson Mall in Jersey City, right?
Mhm.
So we at the mall, we don't know, because back then the news wasn't like how it is now, where you on social media, you're like, yo, such and such gonna be at Hudson Mall, and you're like, yo, I'm going. So we at Hudson Mall randomly, and they are like, yo, hands AD, this is crazy. I'm in the mall, right? Me and my little brother. We bought, you remember the flex thing? Remember the bar used to flex it to like Hulk Hogan use it.
Right.
Hulk Hogan had this bar, and then he was like, yo, you want to get strong? Squeeze this bar.
Right.
And so we was in the mall looking for one of those, right? And so we see everybody running, and they like, Macho Man just pushed down Miss Elizabeth. And we like thinking it's on TV, right? So we run down there to see this thing on TV, and it's Macho Man Randy Savage getting beat up. And Hudson Mall used to have a fountain in the middle of the walking area, like, where all the paths come together in the mall, the central part of the mall. Ricky Steamboat is punching Macho Man so many times. Legit security had to go get Ricky Steamboat off Macho Man, right? Ricky Steamboat, because the story is, they were there doing something, and Miss Elizabeth said something, and he backslapped her, and she stood up like, "Don't do that!" And then he pushed her down, and Ricky Dragon Steamboat stood up and just whooped that man. And
yeah, he was really,
crazy,
he was crazy for her. When you see their story, like, she was like, don't move, stay in the corner. Everything is scripted, that type of way. He was a really possessive type of dude. They had like a really love-hate type of deal. Those wrestlers, but he was, oh my God, on camera. Is there anything better outside of the Hulk? Is there anything better than Randy Macho Man Savage with the voice, the outfit?
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah,
the glitter with the cowboy hat, with the constant, Mean Gene, the voice way up. I mean, they couldn't script anything better than that. He doesn't get enough credit of how they roll out characters and how they character to develop. Like back then, those guys were really entertaining characters.
The microphone is what set you apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you couldn't because I remember watching wrestling around the 2000s, and everybody, we're gonna get back to the Knicks talk. Just wanted to get this out of my system just real quick. I was remember watching the WWE around the 2000s and remembering, yo, this is whack, bro. This is whack. You out here, you got Mark Henry talking on a microphone. You got the Godfather out here on this microphone. They whack, bro. And then a dude just bust in and said, "If you smell what the Rock is cooking," and I remember as soon as I saw it, he a star.
He a star.
As soon as
Yes.
the first time he did it, bim, that's the
Them.
man right there. That's
They
him. He a
yes.
legend.
They knew how to mark. They knew how to build and market the star.
Right.
You understand? Like if they rolled something out and they were getting like a little bit of traction, they wouldn't take it lightly.
Right.
See what I'm saying? If they because remember, in the old days, wrestling they would be like on the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
They would go up to New Rochelle and down and around and Albany and
All
they
out
would,
on the Nassau Coliseum.
yes, and they would run their own advertisements during the show.
Yep. Yep.
You know, check us out and this and da, 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 da. That's how advertisements used to go back then because they weren't doing it on TV. They'd be running their advertisements while their show was going on.
Yeah.
Somewhere like at the end or leading back into the segment.
Yeah.
So he was able, him and his marketing people, once they figured out like a formula of how to roll out certain guys, and when certain guys got a real traction, like there was no look at how Hulk Hogan seems like something out of an American Vietnam story that he beats the dreaded Iron Sheik. There is no oh my God, when he comes out to Bruce Springsteen, born in the USA.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that was the first WrestleMania. I think that's like WrestleMania 1. When he comes running out to that, born and rips off the yellow, off the yellow, what? And ends up taking back the crown for USA and the hated Iranian Iron Sheik. There's no better drama than that.
Yeah, yeah, and the irony to it is there was a war going on in Afghanistan between Afghanistan and Russia, and all this stuff, man, and so you play off the geopolitical ecosystem at the time, and you get all these things. Now you get Sergeant Slaughter, who was a heel, right? But then gets baptized into patriotism.
Yep.
And now, because remember, Sergeant Slaughter was a drill sergeant. Remember that he was just a bad guy. He was just a trophy character based on some stereotypes from some bad army movies that came out, right?
Yep.
And then he gets baptized into patriotism.
Yep.
And before you know it, Sergeant Slaughter is like one of the most popular people in the country.
He's got kids putting kids in the Cobra Clutch.
Yes,
at school, after school, at home, wherever I mean, kids was really knocking other kids out because that maneuver where it's like up, under.
Right.
That was a real chokehold.
It's asphyxiation. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. He had kids really putting kids to sleep.
Yeah.
With the Cobra Clutch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think a lot of those characters were way super believable. But WWE behind the scenes is a mess, bro. Like when you pull a curtain back, you got dudes with injuries. They popping pills just so they can perform the next night. Dudes' shoulders out of place one night. They got to show up for practice in the morning with their shoulder pop back into place so they can perform because they can't miss days. Because these days are booked, and you can't sell Anthony D is going to be here in Nassau Coliseum Thursday night, he get injured Tuesday. People already bought their tickets. He got to perform
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah,
They already
yeah,
bought their tickets.
yeah.
You
It,
know what I'm saying?
it
So,
was
so yeah.
there was no load management in wrestling.
No.
There's no load
There's
management
no
in
load
wrestling.
management.
Nah, nah.
Bro, I saw Mick Foley fall off a 10-foot ladder, right? And people don't remember Mick Foley. Dude Love. Or
Mm-hmm.
what's Mick Foley other name? Dude Love. Hacks. Was it he had like three names, right? Nick Foley was Mankind. Yeah, Mankind. So I saw Mankind fall off a
Mm-hmm.
10-foot ladder. And when he was climbing up the ladder was rocking anyway. And I'm like, fool, what are you doing? He get to the top and the ladder tip over, and you could see the look of fear on his face. But he was like, "Ah, I may as well I'm falling. I may as well just play with it, bro. Just go with it." And
Absolutely.
that man fell off a 10-foot ladder onto cement,
Mm,
right? And he just laid there like the
mm,
dude he was wrestling, just
mm.
walked around, trying to get Mick Foley to get up, and Mick Foley wouldn't get up. It took Mick Foley like five real time
No,
minutes to get up.
no.
Right? That man got up, and you could see that man bleeding out the side of his head, all down in his beard, bro. And the dude, and you thinking they're gonna call the match, like you thinking they're gonna call somebody out of the back to beat up the other guy. And Mick Foley or Mankind just ran at the dude and got suplexed. And you're like, oh my God, Mick
No.
Foley.
Imagine you are a part of a script that says you have to carry some kind of foreign object into the ring, take it out at some point, disguise it or have it discreetly, and bust your own forehead.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything above the eyebrow or around the eyebrow, you are used to. You ever looked at a wrestler's forehead
I mean, you talking about
after
like
their
the
career?
Mick Foley, the pretty boys ain't gonna do it.
Yeah,
Not that
they
often.
all would have to do it because you have to create the blood.
Yeah, yeah. I saw
You
a
know,
dude. I saw Ric Flair create blood on a dude. Ric Flair does this chop, bro. I saw Ric Flair chop a dude. The top part of his chest it was beat red, bro.
yeah, because you hear that slap,
Oh,
slap. No, as
bro.
scripted as wrestling is, you have to be athletic and about your business to
Yeah,
get in the ring with dudes who are weighing up to, you know, Andre the Giant was some 500 pounds and
500 pounds, bro.
still growing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that's why he died because he's still growing.
Still growing. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's a tumor. You know, that's a I think um I forget who had it. I think um I'm not gonna say Shaq, but there was an NBA center that had that condition where they weren't
the
like
mirror son.
no, I'm talking about a good NBA center. It wasn't like it wasn't like David Robinson who just hit two individual growth spurts and just sprouted out like a wing. You remember David Robinson was 6'4", and then he was 6'8", and then he was 7 foot. David Robinson had like two different growth spurts. That's just the reason
Yes.
why he was wound up being a very tall human being,
Yeah.
right? Like for instance, myself, I never had. Oh well, I did have the adolescent growth spurt. You know how you have your adolescent growth spurt or whatever. You go to sleep in 8th grade and you wake up as a ninth grader and you 3 inches taller or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that, but I continued to grow over time, like little bit at a time. Like I used to look at my wall and just like, oh, I remember when I got to be 5'4", right? I was real young. When I was 5'4", I was like, wow, I might be 7 foot. I didn't know,
Mm.
you young and crazy. But yeah, man, that life, bro, is crazy. But AD, let me ask you this, bro. It's a sprint to the finish in the NBA, right?
Mm.
The Knicks play Thursday. right?
Right.
We assume Thursday when the Knicks return from the All-Star break that a lot of guys are going to be somewhat healthy, maybe healthy enough to play. Hartenstein, DiVincenzo. We don't know about OG and Anobi, but it's close. Randall, do you expect the Knicks to do something major down the stretch of these last 28 or so games? Do you expect something major?
When you say major, you mean like on the buyout market?
No, I'm
Keep a
talking about
serious
I'm,
eye.
I'm talking about in the standings.
No, because injuries are part of the deal, you know. But to before I build on that, if I was them with iHeart, I really sit him down. I sit him down longer than that.
Yeah.
I really do. The Achilles is nothing to play with. The Achilles, it's almost impossible that for the Achilles to get better in season once you've injured it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, it's what other big can I get? Can I sign that can give me some rebounds and some energy? You know, off the heat. Let him sit out this next month or so.
Yeah.
To get him right for the playoffs. Both him and Mitch. I mean, if Mitch is is further along into coming back, okay, that's a different timeline. But him with a hurt Achilles,
Yeah.
you know, I would really be careful with that. If I could push him off coming back for at least another month, let him sit this out. So it's all about the injury. I don't I You have to have able bodies, and not only the able bodies but some cohesion to get back to that January.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You brought in two new players. You got players coming back. You got players still out. It takes a little time to get that to
Right.
get that cooking grease again.
Right.
So if they're not able to get to that 3-2 seed or whatever, okay, fine.
Right.
But if they're reasonably healthy, like I said in the beginning of this show, if they're on the same playing field, going with everyone else into the playoffs, I think it's going to be hot next summer.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hot next summer.
That's interesting in that um it's interesting in that we may be one player away from holding the Larry O'Brien trophy based on what you just said. But it's also interesting in that a lot of talent questions have been answered. A lot of coaching questions have been answered, right? A lot of front office questions have been answered. The only question that we have is, can this team stay healthy long enough to make that series playoff run? And I'm not gonna lie to you, AD. I don't have any answers for it. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I don't. I think some of the questions in management have been answered. Like they're not, the emoji with Leon being asleep at the wheel with his belly out. I guess we could retire that emoji.
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah,
Hold on, I guess we could retire that one.
yeah,
I can Dre. You don't have to use that one for a minute,
yeah.
right? But Tibbs still has to answer some questions.
You call that man IBM?
Yeah,
That man selling typewriters.
absolutely. The early word processor.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But there's some he has to answer some things in the playoffs.
right.
Just like Randall. There's this is not a finished product by
Right.
no means, but
By no means. Yeah.
I would once they get back again, like I said before, reasonably healthy, then you can start making, because you're not gonna get the for Julius, you're not gonna get the you hurt your shoulder back in February, back in January, so that gives you an excuse for the playoffs. That's not gonna ride again.
Right. Right.
It's really not. It's not going to save Tibbs again if they don't have a good showing in the playoffs.
That's where, see, this is a question that I want to ask you, and just get like a sincere um approach to answering the question. It's what if this team falls short of expectations? What do you do with Tom Thibodeau?
It depends on how they fall short
I
and
know.
what is the what only he and management know what expectations were for this season,
Right.
right? So if going into the season they are on a, hey, we're looking for no less than a second round, appearance again. Okay, only they can change the trajectory as the season goes on. You add if Tibbs is saying, "Hey, if you get me this piece, I can do whatever." Management goes back and say, "Okay, we finally traded RJ and moving on. We got you OJ. We got you that lockdown wing. That 3-and-D lockdown defensive
We
three.
got you lineup flexibility. We
Yes,
got you a deep roster, which you choose to or not to play. It's up to you.
up to you."
Right.
Okay, we removed the Frenchman and all that chirping.
Who, Frank?
No, Fournier.
Oh, the other Frenchman. Okay.
We removed Fournier out of your midst. You don't have to come to work and see Fournier no more.
No more.
Okay,
Yeah.
you need an experienced veteran ball handler. What we got you, Burks.
Yeah, we got you, Burks. Yeah.
You need an experienced veteran that can shoot, that can get a bucket, get his own bucket. That is also a catch and shoot three. That was shooting 42% from three on his arrival here, averaging more than 20 points per game. We got you that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I AD. So the reason why I'm trying to ask it in a delicate way is because I understand the variables. I understand all the variables. Like anything could go in any different direction. Um um I'm not gonna say ping pong, but I'm gonna say it's like whatever. It can just go in any different direction, right? But what happens if the Knicks come back and they do win 51, 52, 53 games without being completely healthy, right? And then we lose in the second round to the Boston Celtics, right? Do you then say, well, we had the players as the coach, or do you say, well, we have the coach, but these players aren't right? Some mix of these players aren't right, or do you sell the narrative of we didn't have enough time to gel, we're going to run it back with the hopes that you can catch lightning in a bottle?
You could use any one of those three,
I
Freezy.
know.
You could use any one of those three, but
For
it's
justification, right?
for justification,
That's
right?
why I'm asking.
Right? But which door do you go through?
That's
Okay?
what I'm asking you.
Which door, and I'm now flipping it back in a way of, for them, he's only been loyal to Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
right? So when
Right.
every time we've heard of a possible rumbling or whatever, they meet, they sit, whatever comes back out. It's Tom's way. We good. We're rolling with Tom.
Right.
So I would expect no different should things, not end well in a scenario like against Boston. Okay,
Right.
your only other doors to walk through is to make the team, then make it better for him.
And that's where we ask the question, like, damn dog, we done gave you all this stuff. We gave you everything that you asked for, and you keep asking for more. Maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's the coach.
I think at some point every organization has to come to that reality. Come to that, you know, we've given you this. If you're in true, if you're being true to your what you said that your early goals were coming into the season, you then have to come to that. Are you the one to carry us, forward?
Right. But AD, I'm asking you the reason why I'm asking you, and chat, y'all participate, chat. I need y'all input on this too, right? I need y'all input on this too. Because if it's a question like with AD, like what I was asking AD, where you give this guy all the stuff, is this guy, Tom Thibodeau, reverting back to what he was in Chicago, where you get rid of all the young players, your team is got have all these players injured, and this guy only makes the Eastern Conference Finals 1 year out of the whole time he's there. Second round exit, second round exit, second round exit. Now, do you want to bring the Chicago Bulls, Tom Thibodeau, to the Knicks? Or you're like, hey, Moses, you brought us out of, you got us away from Pharaoh, but you can't enter the promised land. We got to get Aaron to take us into the promised land. Is it one of those, Mark Jackson, thank you for getting us out of the lottery, but Steve Kerr is going to take us to the championship? Is it going to be one of those, hey, Paul Westhead, hey, we appreciate you for having the Lakers be relevant and all that, but Pat Riley is going to take us to this next era of Knicks basketball? Is it that situation? It could be, and the reason why I asked that specifically is because you already know what the limits of Tom Thibodeau's coaching is if you give him everything he wants. Right? You saw it in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, Freezy. I get that, and I'm with you to a certain point, and the certain point is we sucked before Tom Thibodeau.
Indeed.
Let's just make sure we're clear.
Right.
Between Woody and Tom Thibodeau was a lot of bad
Bad Knicks
basketball.
basketball. Right.
Bad basketball.
Right.
Okay? You want to go, prior to Woody, the D'Antonis, the whatevers, bad, head coaching at the top. So he's going to get the latitude to try again with more resources because of what it was like prior to him. And I'm not so sure that you don't give him that. You know what I mean? Because it was bad before Tom. It really was. It was
Right.
real. We as Knicks fans now, we can't see past the Brunson and the Randall and the this and the that. All we can see is things are shiny and it's looking like we're heading whatever. Not so long ago, it was bad.
Right.
Really bad. So they're not gonna just, up and get rid of him because of the.
But there's another part to that too. It's not that Tom Thibodeau came here and took a bad roster and got them to the second round of the playoffs. The roster has improved also. Right?
Yeah, but the roster has improved because It's what a coach like him coming in, it's what he expects. You didn't just hire Tom Thibodeau and Tom was like, all right, you give me what you give me and I see you when I see you, peace.
Nah.
No. He's not winning 500 games because he just, I'm good with whatever you give me. No, he's not that type of coach. You're going to have to be working with what he sees, what he needs for the recipe. It's not just letting you bring in players and I'm good with that and okay.
Right.
Do you think that they made this trade for OG Anunoby with and letting RJ Barrett and Quick out the door without getting strong consideration from Tom Thibodeau?
Right.
If that was the case, he'd be out. If that was the case, his bags would have been packed.
No, I'm with you on that. But what I'd like to do is just consider all sides of it. Like, I'm not saying fire Tom Thibodeau at all, right? I'm saying I want to consider all sides of it.
There are people right now in Knick Universe who want Tom Thibodeau out.
Yeah, there are people in Knicks Universe that don't have common sense too.
Yeah.
We can't listen to everybody, bro. Yeah, and the chat hate when I do that. People in the chat, some of the day ones, they know how I am, right?
Look,
they know.
They real. I'm like, yo, how can he get this much criticism when just a couple of years ago Fizdale was your coach?
I understand that. That was a argument I made with you on this very show last year. Like, we should consider how great of a coach Tom Thibodeau is, right? But what I'm saying is to you is this, right? What I'm saying to you is this: nobody remembers the coach of the Boston Celtics before Red Auerbach, bro.
No,
right? Nobody remember when I said Paul Westhead. People were like, "Who was Uncle Freezie talking about?" Yeah, he was the guy before Pat Riley.
Yeah,
for the Lakers, right? Nobody remembers the coach of the Detroit Pistons before Chuck Daly, right? The only reason in my mind that people remember the coach of the Chicago Bulls before,
wasn't it Stan Auerbach? Was the coach before Daly?
Albrecht?
Auerbach.
No, Albrecht? The white dude? The old white dude?
Yeah, with
the white dude that used to coach Cleveland?
With the frizzy hair. No, not Fratello. No, I think
no, not him. No, I'm talking about they got a coach. No, this is before Fratello, bro. This is
but I'm trying to remember if it was Stan Auerbach. I'm trying to remember if I got his last name right.
He used to coach Cleveland in 79, 80.
He used to coach Jersey too.
No, you talking about Bob Fitch? I mean,
no, not Fitch. Not Fitch. Fitch didn't coach Detroit. But anyway, but go ahead.
He was coaching the Celtics at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, every NBA coach that you hire is not going to be the one that gets you to the promised land, right? You in theory, basically what I'm saying. Excuse me. Basically, what I'm saying is it's like levels to it. It's phases, stages, right? You get a guy to get you out of the lottery, right? Then you fire him. The next guy you bring in is going to make you a contender. Then you fire him, or maybe he wins you a chip. You don't know, right? But the thing is every coach is brought in to do a certain thing for your team. And if we're saying that Tom Thibodeau is a NBA championship level coach, I don't know if he is or not. I just hadn't seen it. As long as Tom Thibodeau has been coaching, you've never seen Tom Thibodeau coach or lead a team to the NBA Finals.
This is true.
He's been a coach for a long time, bro. And maybe New York is the place that he does it.
You could say that about a lot of coaches, though, Freezie.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I asked you that question, because you could say that about a lot of coaches, bro.
Say that about a lot of coaches. I mean, the knock on him early was if the games passed him by and so forth. I'm like, well, you can't say that because his teams are shooting threes on clip with everybody else, if not more.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have people posting up in the lane. He plays a wide open game. He plays a kick and drive game for the most part.
Yeah.
Or drive and kick. Excuse me, drive and kick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anything else, Freezie. Has he had a Giannis?
No. In fairness to him, no. The
No.
one time Tibbs got a megastar, injuries. And the injury conversation has followed Tibbs his entire head coaching career.
And it's not fair.
No, it's not
It's
fair.
not fair.
Follows
It's
him.
ridiculous. And but it follows him because you have talking heads that have 10 million followers every day that say something like, you know, he's gonna run them into the ground because Derrick Rose got a freak injury 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You could take a look at any NBA champion, right? And take a look at their major players, the guys who did the major work. Look at their minutes per game. Regular season.
But
it wasn't nothing light.
But AD, it's
you
not,
can't mention load management and why guys are load management.
Bro. It's not minutes. It's
no,
not
what
minutes.
I'm saying. But what I'm saying is though, sometimes the argument, it's so hypocritical, makes no sense.
But
we question load management and why guys have load management, but yet still we then want to say, well, guys are playing too many minutes.
But that's not what I'm trying to interject that now is with Tom Thibodeau. It's not about minutes. Like you can't say because every NBA minute is not the same. Tom Thibodeau has a thing is all he wants is for you to go out and play 100% while you're playing, right? And over the years, and listen, over the years, AD, you've been watching basketball for 60 years, bro. You ain't got to lie about your age. I know how old you are, right? You've been watching basketball for 60 years, right? You know that every NBA team doesn't put out the same effort every night, right? But Tom Thibodeau wants his teams to put out that effort every night. Right, you used to watch the Knicks and things back in the day. The Knicks used to play hard, right? The 90s Knicks played hard, right? But you noticed that playing hard style made us trade 2 young point guards for veterans, right? Because the starter would get hurt. You remember Doc Rivers? Remember Doc Rivers getting hurt? Not Doc Rivers, the knee injury caused us to trade away Mark Jackson, right? And you remember Pat Ewing?
Well,
Pat Ewing and with the injuries in '95. Pat Ewing was 33 years old in '95, right? 33 years old in '95, and they're like, "Yeah, Beast, we want you to be the best rebounder, the best defender, and our main scorer." Right, you know who was on that staff in '95? Tom Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming Tibbs. What I'm saying is when you ask your guys, because even if they only play 10 minutes, you're like, bro, in these 10 minutes that you're gonna play, bro, I want you to be balls to the wall for these 10 minutes. Right? Dante DiVincenzo played the other night 41 minutes. He expected Dante DiVincenzo to play balls to the wall for 41 straight minutes, and Dante DiVincenzo wound up getting a fatigue injury with a pulled hamstring.
You can't blame Tibbs on that. That's unfair.
Yeah, you can blame Tibbs on certain stuff.
You could get a hammy doing anything. He could have stepped right out there and slipped in a sweat spot and got a hammy. That's a leap. That's a leap, Dr. Freezie.
Well, so why does that happen to Tom Thibodeau teams and don't happen to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown? When's the last time you seen Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown hurt?
Jason Tatum was hurt in the finals last year.
On a freak injury,
yeah.
Game seven.
Yeah, but
he damn near dislocated his ankle.
Yeah, but you don't know when these things are gonna happen. Look when KD got hurt.
Yeah,
These things. You just don't know. You can't say if it's the minutes because he's asking. Dear God, a coach wants your maximum effort every time you step out on the court. Something is wrong with that. You should be half-assing it. The coach should want you or allow you to play in a style that's comfortable to you that could possibly jeopardize the game. He's there for wins.
No,
Freeze.
AD. No, AD. I'm
He's
saying
there for
no,
wins.
AD. What I'm saying is, if you're down 23 with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, bro, how often do you see a team go on a 23-0 run in the fourth quarter?
In today's NBA with the three, those leads are not safe.
Name it. Then I just want to hear an
It's
example.
happened several times this year alone.
In the
I
fourth,
can't.
a team go on a
Yeah, it's happened several times this year
no, AD,
alone.
no, AD, no, come on.
Wasn't Phoenix up by like 28? Didn't Dallas come back? I mean, no, it's happened several times this year.
No,
Freezy.
it didn't happen several times. It happened once. It happened once at the beginning of the season.
With the 3-pointer, no leads are safe.
Dallas, yeah.
With
Dallas.
the 3-pointer, no leads are safe. Freezy, look how guys are scoring 70 on the regular now. Look how once upon a time, from when I remember David Thompson having 70 or 73 when I was a kid.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. The next time it happened was David Robinson had 71 30, right. 40 years later.
Yeah.
You know, I think Mike had 69 or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that was easily attainable. Like it was a major. Then Kobe had his 82. Now, would you be surprised if somebody this year or next year clipped Kobe's 82? No.
Yeah. AD. What I'm saying to you is that when a game is out of reach, sit your stars, bro, because it's unlikely for that to happen, right? Because you down 23 in the fourth quarter, even if you go on a 15-0 run, right? Now you still down by 8, but your whole team is exhausted. Now what?
How many times have we been out of reach in the games this year? How many times have we gotten smacked? We've been the smacker, not the smacky.
Duly noted, right? Let's use that example. So we're smacking somebody, right? And they're trying to wave the white flag on their side, but we still got Jalen Brunson up top running plays and all those. For what?
Because we don't have us. Once they traded quickly, we did not have consistent, suitable guard play to bring us into offense. And the coach has a certain level of, well, you could say that he's not flexible in times when it's supposed to be flexible, but he has a certain way of playing. He wants the game to be played a certain way.
Right. I understand that. But what I'm saying is he wants it to be played a certain type way, but you can't tell me honestly that with Tom Thibodeau way is the way to win a championship. Because what I'm going to say is, if so, then what championship has he won?
That's fair. That's fair, Freezie. But
right, but we've also just really quick. We also saw a Lakers team, or not a Lakers team, but we saw a Denver team, a Golden State team, some San Antonio teams that load managed, and they won championships.
Oh God, Freezie! They won championships with the best talent, Freezie.
Right.
With Tom Thibodeau, this might be the best top two players he's had on his team these last 2 years than in any other time, and that's including when he had Jimmy Butler and the big man over there in Wiggins in Minnesota. Okay. He's had good teams. He had good teams in Chicago. Yeah, but they weren't the most talented.
Right.
Luol Deng, good player, yes, but at that time was Luol Deng in the top 25 players in the league? No,
Mm,
their best player was Rose.
yeah.
Noah just was a very hardworking.
But you know what? That Derrick Rose injury, and if I may be wrong, but I think I'm absolutely right on this. That Derrick Rose freak torn ACL injury, the Bulls were blowing the team out, and Tibbs didn't take him off the floor, and that man tore his ACL in a meaningless game. Right, the Bulls are already up. You're already blowing somebody out, and you got Derrick Rose out there. Then he tears ACL, and we called it a freak injury. That can happen anywhere. No, bro. Why is he out there when you blowing somebody out? Like, what are you trying to establish here?
Freezie, you do know that Derrick Rose has played for Tom Thibodeau in 3 places,
Right,
right?
right.
If Derrick Rose felt that way, why would he continue to come back to Tom Thibodeau?
Because he know Tibbs is gonna play him. Well, okay. With that said, what is Derrick Rose saying? And
But if
Derrick
he
Rose is in
harbored
Memphis,
but if
Derrick
he
Rose is
harbored
in
ill will,
Memphis right
Freezie,
now talking shit about Tom Thibodeau. He's in Memphis right now talking shit about Tom Thibodeau, bro.
do you doubt that Derrick Rose will come back and play for Tom Thibodeau again?
I d- no, never, never. Because Tibbs sat Derrick Rose in some of his prime years, 33 years old. He was sitting Derrick Rose, bro. You think Derrick Rose is gonna come back at 36 and want to play for Tibbs? No.
Tibbs
I
got him
feel you. I feel
paid.
you on the
Tibbs,
injuries thing, bro. But we can't name another coach that has this injury narrative attached to him like Tom Thibodeau does.
he got one guy injured, one guy that had a major injury, that had a major change in his career. One guy.
Right.
One guy. That's not fair, Freezy. One guy he's coached 500 winning games. It's not fair.
Yeah,
For
man.
one
Yo,
for
and
one guy.
I agree with No Cap said in the chat that Derrick Rose was generational. And listen, I think Derrick Rose was beyond generational. I think Derrick Rose probably could have been the best ever. Right? That's how I feel about D Rose.
Oh
I feel
boy.
like yo, AD, Derrick Rose was doing stuff before the injuries. Derrick Rose was doing stuff at the point guard position. Bro, you're like, what if you mix this is us being crazy, right? Like, what if you mix Allen Iverson and Kevin Johnson and this is like when we were and I'm not looking back on it now. I'm saying in that moment, this is what I was thinking. Like, what point guard you ever saw was dunking on people like that often?
Okay. Let me ask you a question. All right. Make a comparison. Who would you take in their prime? Derrick Rose, Jason Kidd.
In their prime?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even a question, bro. You got to get for Derrick Rose, you got to give me Jason Kidd and you got to give me Jason Kidd, Tim Hardaway, and Kevin Johnson for Derrick Rose.
That is so. And
which one of those dudes won the MVP? The dudes I named: Jason Kidd, Tim Hardaway, or Kevin Johnson. Which one of them won the MVP?
Derrick Rose has the MVP.
And he was the youngest to ever do it.
That's fine, Freezy. Derrick Rose, and this is no knock to Derrick Rose, okay? Amazing athletic ability, especially for someone any height. I remember the off 2 legs throwing down on people on a regular basis, on Steve Nash on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But winning basketball is more than tremendous athletic ability. Jason Kidd, Freezy, his basketball IQ and awareness and getting back and getting players in the right place so they can get their shot, and it's not even. I'm sorry, Freezie. There is no way to compare the prime D Rose to prime Jason Kidd. You would not like to play with him,
bro. But here's the thing, AD, that I think you're missing. You've never seen the prime Derrick Rose.
I did MVP. That was the
No,
best for him.
no,
That was
no,
the best for
no.
him.
That wasn't his prime. We call it his prime because we didn't get to see that explosive Derrick Rose at age 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Right? Derrick Rose, the injuries robbed us of what could have been and what should have been. Right? If Derrick Rose, give an example, if Derrick Rose played for Mike D'Antoni like that, with all of that stuff, right? With all the things he was doing. If Derrick Rose played for any other coach, right? I don't know if this injury occurs.
You don't.
The
That's why
the
it's unfair.
injury the,
That's
the
why it's
injury
unfair.
the injury robbed the injury robbed us of what Derrick Rose could have been, bro.
Yeah, it robbed us his athletically, Freezy.
I
Okay,
understand.
that's like saying, when a pitcher loses his fastball, then what?
Can he think? Can
Can
he
he still
outthink the hitter?
pitch? Can
Can
he
he paint the
outthink the
corners?
hitter?
Yeah.
So
But
without his athletic ability, what? His second life was what?
bro,
Mediocre?
I'm trying to get to that, bro, because the thing I'm trying to get to is Derrick Rose in the beginning played solely off athleticism. He didn't get the opportunity. You're forgetting it's not like, you know what I'm saying, he lost the athleticism and he was still playing and could learn the game. This man was out of basketball rehabbing. This man was out of basketball rehabbing. So it's not like he was on the court learning his secondary and tertiary skills. The man was out with a devastating knee injury rehab. He's just trying to get his life together.
Did Bernard King come back from 2 years of rehabbing and became an all-star again?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is Bernard King the greatest basketball player of all time?
No.
But
In a moment in time,
for a 3-year stretch.
But in a moment in time, he was possibly the best player in the game.
For a 3-year stretch,
Yeah,
when Larry Bird was winning MVP, you could say Bernard King. I'm not going to say Bernard King was better than Larry Bird, right? I think that's
you could.
Now, no. What I'm saying is
you've made more outlandish statements on the airwaves.
And no, what I'm saying is Bernard King to me during that stretch was the second or third best player in the NBA. And yes, I'm including Dr. J and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, right? During that stretch from like 81.
He used to kill Doc. He used to kill Doc right around
from 81 to his injury. You could say Bernard King was the second best player in the NBA.
He used to give Doc work.
But AD, but for that stretch, what I'm saying is Bernard King was not a spring chicken. During that stretch, Bernard King was 24, 25, 26 years old. That Bernard King is what you were seeing, right? But you never got to see the 24, 25, 26, 27, 28-year-old Derrick Rose that you saw as a 20-year-old Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But AD, I got one thing I wanted to ask you before we get out of here. Eddie F, thank you for the generous contribution. Eddie F says, who else was nominated for MVP when D Rose won it? You are correct. He was chosen as best player in the league at 21. Amazing. And Eddie F, that's what I'm trying to tell Anthony D, but he won't listen to me. But anyway, AD, real quick before we get out of here, right? I want to.
Where we going?
I want to. You already know, but anyway, but I want to ask you this though, and I'm gonna make a statement, and just real quick.
You're gonna make a statement and ask me a question, all in the same. I
gotta make the statement, and then I'm gonna make the statement first. I gotta preface it, and then I ask you the question.
Okay.
The ratings in the NBA are down right? And they're down with an anchor attached to it, right? Do you believe that the NBA ratings are down because A, offense, this offense that we're seeing is not pleasurable to look at, or B, the lack of rivalries have tainted the product?
I think it's a couple of things in combination, and I would say the first would be the lack of rivalries. You know, when they went to cleaning up the game in the latter part of the '90s into the 2000s, they, it was said that it's hard to look at, playing a lot of bully ball, a lot of shots were throwing at the Knicks. How they play Miami and things of that nature. That they believe that. Remember, at one point, they even brought in the 3-point line. Remember that? I think they
Yep.
did it for 2 seasons,
And Mitch
right?
Richmond averaged like 27 a game.
And Cats was just shooting the daylights out of it, and they were like, "Whoa,
Oh, and we got to
you
move this
know,
thing back.
we got to move this thing back. The records and stuff are not respected. What the hell do you have here today? What the hell do you have here today?
The
When
same thing
guys
you
are,
just, the same thing you just mentioned.
that I just mentioned, guys are throwing up. I think there's been 370s in the last 2 years. It's been at least 1060s in the last 2 years, if not more. Like, it's not worth anything anymore. Those nights when guys did something like that, it was conversation the next day, real conversation.
Not fake conversation.
Yeah, like, did you hear? Did you see what? I mean, the Kobe '82. I didn't see it live. If it wasn't for ESPN, you had never known.
Right.
See what I'm saying? That they need to go back to, more emphasis on the team rivalries as a part of this. More emphasis on, on defense, allowing defense to still mean something. Because when I hear people talk about defense, Freezy, and having this guy be a defender, what in today's game, defense is only for moments.
Yep.
It's only for moments of the game.
Yep.
So to your point, Tom Thibodeau trying to squeeze every inch out of a player or whatever, you're basically saying it's impossible to play that way every minute of the game, all the time, whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
that is true. But on the other end, it's not making for a pretty game to watch all of this scoring.
AD, right now, at this very moment, there are 16 NBA players averaging 26 points per game or more. What in the world are we looking at?
What are we looking at?
Bro, right now, in this very moment, right, there are 4 players averaging 30 points a game. And if they continue on this course, you know what the discourse is going to be after their career? These guys are better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan only averaged 30 points a game.
Because numbers lie.
Numbers lie, bro.
I used to tell people all the time when you hear about, men lie, women lie, numbers. No, numbers lie.
Numbers lie. And the reason why numbers lie is because men and women are recording the numbers.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. So if the people lie, how can the recording and the recording of whatever be true, be honest?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 16 or more people average 25 or more. I'm sorry.
That's still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people, though. Yeah, now, Joel Embiid is averaging 35 points a game, bro. What are we looking at?
What are we looking at, Freezy, where a man will cause himself further injury just to play an extra game to make sure that he gets the MVP check that's attached because you have to play a certain amount of games.
Right.
That's what Joel Embiid did. That's how he got. That's what put the finishing topping on his knee situation.
Yeah, what it is, and the other thing too, I'm sorry to say to all the Joel Embiid fans, but Joel Embiid is at that age, and Giannis is approaching that age where the wear and tear of being 6'11", 7 foot tall, running up and down the floor is going to start to catch up to him.
It
Right,
already has.
right, right,
It
right,
already has.
right. When you're big man, listen, and I've always, ever since Pat Ewing was here, I've been a proponent of when your big man turns 29, or nowadays it's 29. Back then it was like when your big man turns 32. Because back, you're of course big man back in the day used to play 4 years of college, right? So when your big man turns 32, 33, trade him. I don't care how much you love him.
He's
You
he's no he's no Pat Ewing.
hell no. What statement is that?
he's no Pat Ewing.
No, no, man, no, man.
Let's just make sure we clear
Yeah, we gotta establish some boundaries here.
some
No,
boundaries.
no, these dudes
Okay?
are not Pat Ewing, bro.
No.
We gotta.
All of that muckety muck, you glad to be friend, you glad to be da. Like, people don't understand the what it took for Pat to play every night at that level.
Yeah, especially in his 30s.
After the game, you icing down.
You in the ice tub, you in the hot tub,
He was
you
never
wrapping your
hurt.
knees up.
He was never hurt before. That freaking Steve Stupanovic hurt him in his rookie year.
Right.
And it was just, ever since then, it was like every year, surgery, cleanup.
Yeah.
The man had more cleanups than anybody.
Than anybody. And you're right. And so the point, AD, that I'm saying to that, and I'm glad you brought it up because I feel like it's an excellent point, is for one, shout out to Steve Stepanovich and Jeff Rulin and all the centers from back in the day that people forget about. You know what I'm saying?
Which man was a bum.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Chris Dudley. Yes, but
and I hate calling an NBA player, at least to the top, but he was,
shout out to Michael. You remember Michael Corrin?
Michael Corrin with the Nets, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the nicest dude, bro, I think I ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there waiting for Michael Ray Richardson, and the dude and Michael Corrin is out there talking to me like while I'm waiting on Michael. And I'm like, no offense, big, tall center guy. No offense to you, in that ugly New Jersey Nets jersey, but I'm waiting on a real NBA player to show up. This is me talking to Michael Corrin. But anyways, AD, I think that the rivalry thing, and I understand the logic. I understand the logic behind all the different ways to watch NBA games. I understand that. But I think we all know the NBA product right now is watered down. Right? It's like watching the worst era of NBA. But you remember the 70s NBA basketball? No, nobody does. Nobody cared. Right? Outside of the Knicks winning 2 championships, one in 70 and one in 73. Right? You go back one year, you got injuries all over the place. The next year, you run into maybe the greatest team to ever play, the 72 Lakers. And then the next year you win the chip. But outside of those years, I don't even know who won the championship in 75. I don't know who won the championship in 78. I don't care. Because it was a watered down NBA product. And I think we're watching the same thing, history repeating itself right now. You can't touch anybody in the NBA. There's no real rivalry. Like, AD, if I ask you who are
but in the 70s you still had real rivalries. You still had rivalries. What's happening is the Stern-led 80s and beyond was marketing forward to fans,
right,
to embrace the game. Themes, slogans. The NBA is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Remember that?
They put the emphasis on fans, right?
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we love this game.
Yeah.
Remember that? Even in the lockout, when they came back, we still love this game.
Yeah. You
Right?
remember the? Do you remember the Michael Jordan curly kick commercial?
Yes. They
I'm an
had
ultra.
a
Yeah, I'm an ultra star. You know
yeah,
Michael Jordan talking about
they
he's an
had
ultra
a
star with the little
they
baby fro?
yeah, with the little baby with the right before he lost it all, with the little baby fro and the ultra star. They had a way of of making the team, the people, society,
Embrace the game.
embrace us, warm up to us, and vice versa.
Right.
It's not the same anymore. Society's not the same anymore. The NBA is having a hard time, in finding that niche, especially here on home soil.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
a hard time, that reach out. That's the problem. If you reached out more and behind the scenes continue to, and I know they do programs in NBA this and NBA that and whatever, but it's not. You have to do more now to captivate the young. There's a lot of young people out here now who are not playing basketball, but
Right.
they're playing basketball.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? To reach out, to have programs to reach out to get these untapped resources to start building for the future of that, to grow the game again.
Yeah. I think the offense. I don't think it's the rivalries as much. I think the rival not having a legit rival has ruined an aspect of the because it doesn't compel you to go to a TV, right? But the thing I think the most is they've loosened the offensive rules up so much that now you're seeing dudes carry the basketball, travel, take five. There was a play where a dude took 5 steps in the NBA game, and everybody was clapping, and the referees didn't call travel. When Kason Wallace ripped James Harden, right? He dribbled at half court, didn't take another dribble on the play, and they're like, "Look at his defense!" And the man took 5 steps without dribbling. AD,
Yeah,
5 steps.
yeah. There's also a lot of bad officiating in the game.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
look no further than what happened with Brunson the last game of the season.
yep, yep.
In what world do you make that call?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. That's all I got, bro. You got anything else?
Thank you for joining us on another Sunday. We don't know where we
Thank
started,
you.
but we know we ended with you. Just two people on another Sunday. Look for me and Freezie in the whirlwind. Garvey.
Let's go, Jets. Yeah. Look out your window.